Okay, it's day 3 of my launch to launch the new job recruiting, or what I should say, boss employee matching platform, coming out in early 2024. So it's gonna come quick. But like I've been mentioning, I'm shooting these videos because I think it's really cool. I want to get it out there that this is a huge thing that I'm undertaking. There's a lot of big boys out there and companies that do job recruiting, but this is different. This is about matching up talent, employees, potential employees, and matching them up with companies and leadership styles and bosses that they align with the purpose, the mission of the company. Not just about pay, not just about bonuses or benefits, because we all know that even with that, it's not enough if the environment and the culture doesn't mesh with the employer or potential employee, especially if they got lots of talent. Today's day 3 towards about a 3 to 4 month launch date. I'm sharing this with all of you so that it hold me accountable, keeps me honest, keeps me pushing, because every day is going to be a climb up this mountain to get exposure for this mission, which is just to create this movement called the coolest boss ever. You want to become, if you're a business owner, a business leader, you want to become the coolest boss ever in the eyes of your employees. It's unbelievable what you can achieve when you got a dream team. I like to say a dream life is only one dream team away. So, but if you're gonna build that dream team, you gotta know how to interact with them. You need to know how to pull out the motivation in them. And you gotta do it in real time when the stress is on and the things are crazy sometimes during the day. A lot of these theories on leadership and these books and stuff, a lot of great information. I'm a 35-year veteran of the martial arts industry, and I can tell you one thing we learn to do is teach people how to deal with stuff that's coming fast, whether it's situations on the street or whatever. You don't have time to think, so it has to be in you. So the coolest boss ever is really about building that base of psychology and emotional intelligence and a lot of the soft skills that are missing in a lot of training these days, because as a leader, boss, a lot of times they focus on the bottom line, sales tactics and this and that, and those are more of the hard skills, and they spend a lot of time and money going to all these events. But what happens a week later, 2 weeks later? And then if they are pushing their teams with these outdated sales strategies, then it becomes an external motivation, quotas and competition and cutthroat. Or the real estate industry, how competitive is so really, when you learn how to be a really cool boss, where your employees are telling their relatives, their friends, man, I love my job, I got the coolest boss ever, that's an honor. And I know as a boss myself that there's no greater feeling than when your employees come up to you and show appreciation for what you're doing for them, but also their family and everyone else around them. Today, day 3, I have the first official Coolest Boss Ever event. It's a mini business leader, business owner networking event, but we are going to go over a couple of the really powerful tools that I teach in the Coolest Boss Ever. One being a Cool Boss Factor self-evaluation quiz. So that will teach them and enlighten them on what their strengths and weaknesses are for the 15 most impactful characteristics of a good leader, an effective leader. And then also we're going to do something called the boss pitch. When people are looking for jobs, they have to pitch themselves to the companies, to the hiring managers and so forth. But what if the company had to pitch themselves to the potential employee? The people with the best talent, with the best drive, and maybe not talent yet. Maybe it's just desire. They want to get involved with a certain company's purpose or vision that they offer. And so anyways, we're on our way there to this cool little cafe here in town, and we got a decent little group that we're going to work with. I'm really looking forward to learning about their passion for their business, what they do, and enlighten them and say, hey, look, this is stuff you want to work on. This is going to be great. And once again, if you want to live your dream life, you need freedom, you need security at work, you need all of those things, and you can't do it yourself. You need the people. And one thing I'm pushing with findacoolboss.com platform, as well as Coolest Boss Ever, is let's just bring it up to the top and say, hey, listen companies, listen bosses, we can grow together. We can grow together. Employees and bosses can grow together. It's not just about the profits. And those will come with a great high-performing team. Yeah, pretty soon we'll be pulling up there. Now, whenever you do an event, if you've ever done events and presentations, and I've done hundreds of them in my career, as a personal development consultant, coach, whatever you want to call it, as well as obviously a martial arts and self-defense instructor. But you never know what you're going to be walking into. I try to really plan ahead. You never know, like you show up and the spot you think you got is already taken or whatever it is. So it should be interesting as we get a little bit closer here. But it's gonna be really chill. You gotta love it. It's okay to be a little nervous when you gotta get up. I know most people are afraid to get in front of people. I'm naturally more introverted, and believe it or not, but when I learned that when you take something you're passionate about, you focus on that. And even if your delivery or your speech, your presentation, maybe that's not as professional or as down pat as you want it, that's okay. As long as your enthusiasm and your passions comes through. They say it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. And I really believe that. Because believe me, I've done some presentations in the past, which I wished I could do over technical wise. But I'm always passionate, I'm always excited. And that tends to seep through, and that's what people remember. It's not what they hear, right? It's not what they see, but it's what they feel. It's what they feel when they leave your presentations. Let's create some awareness out. We're pulling in now to the place. I'm gonna pull right up front here, hopefully, and unload some of our stuff. So, all right, we're coming in here, and I will catch you guys soon. Here we are back at the Coolest Boss Ever headquarters. Just got done doing that event this morning at the cafe. We had a small intimate group and it was a really good time. I really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm glad it was a smaller group because I really got to interact and talk with them about the Coolest Boss Ever and introducing it to the public for the first time, more or less, where I was able to get feedback from what the backstory was of why I created the Coolest Boss Ever. Some of the other videos might explain that a little bit more. This is a team effort. This is a bunch of leaders that made the time to come down out of their day, especially during a busy time of year, and learn something because they saw value in what it means to be a cool boss and be a great boss where you're offering so many opportunities for your team. It's not easy when day-to-day struggles of being a business leader or a boss. Things are moving fast, unplanned things happen, and it's easy to lose yourself. But one thing about the Coolest Boss Ever is that it's not really tactical. Yes, I do teach all the psychology behind self-motivation and emotional intelligence and transparency and all the things that are going to help you become a very effective leader. But really, you can't just put on an act when you go to work as a business leader. You can't say, okay, I got to use this strategy to motivate my people, or I got to use this strategy to get people to comply. It's not about that. There are certain rules, certain things you should say, and certain things you shouldn't say. But you know what? The stuff you learn with Coolest Boss Ever and any good leadership program should be things that you can use all throughout your day. All day long, with you, if you have children, with your relationships, with everybody. Humans are humans. Even at the highest level of business, humans are still humans. We all know of founders and CEOs of big companies that if you're able to see them on a personal level, they're just like you and me. They just have a different mindset when it comes to the unlimited ideas that they have, and they don't feel anything can hold them back. And that's what differentiates them from most people. Most people, they have all their limited beliefs from past experiences and their biases that hold them back. Anything is possible. If these people can become and grow these awesome companies, size isn't everything, but if they can grow, why can't you? You just got to be willing to have an open mind. You have to have the confidence to go for it. And a lot of confidence comes from competence as well as validation from people you trust, mentor type figures. And you just got to go for it. You know, you probably got talents and ideas that could change the world in some way. And if you don't get it out there, I do believe we all have a duty to contribute positively to this world. And that's what I've been doing for the last 35 years in my business, as far as teaching personal development and martial arts and self-defense and making positive impacts on people of all ages. But anyways, going down back to the meeting, It was great. It was fun. We got to go through the Cool Boss Factor quiz, like right real time, person to person. Obviously, I have it available on the findacoolboss.com, the temporary page that we have set up before the platform launches, so people can do it digitally and share it with others. And then see the score. Most importantly, the score is just reflection on how you did on those 15 questions. And the first thing I had to get out there was that you got to be honest. You can lie, you can fake it, you can be in denial all you want. But if you're not flexible as a boss, and or you're not open to feedback, or you don't lead by example, don't be surprised when you don't have a high performing team. And once again, you might have a big company and say, oh yeah, that will work for a small company, but there's so much involved with a big company. People are people. And I do believe, and there's proof, some of the biggest, most successful companies out there, they changed leadership. They changed the CEO, one person that changes the whole company, because it does have to start at the person at the top. And then through strategy and through game plans, they have to figure out ways to make it filter down all the way down to the person that is, people don't notice, the cleaning people that clean the place, or people that have important jobs but aren't really noticed. You know, it's like a football team. Everyone knows who the quarterback is and the star receivers and things like that. But there's a lot of people really working hard on that team that go unnoticed for the most part by the mass public, that without them, the team wouldn't work and it wouldn't be successful. So we did the Cool Boss Factor quiz, got some awesome feedback with that. People got to share about their companies. And I think one thing that was in common with everybody was their genuine passion for what they do. We talked about, what is your purpose of your company? You got to peel back the onion. You're not just selling this or selling that. You're not selling a house. You're selling a home, but you're not really just selling a home. You're selling the life of these people. They're living in that home. So many things happen in their life, and generations even in that home. You're selling all of that when you sell a home. You're not just selling a house with a pool or whatever nice amenities it has. When you peel that back, you get to the purpose of what you're doing. And quite honestly, no matter how good your product is or your service is, if people don't think you care about them and care about how they feel with your service or product, they're not going to use you. They might use you once, but they're not going to use you again. And that's how some of these companies create and develop such great followings. It's not so much what they're selling or doing, it's how these people feel when they interact with this company and their service and their products. And that's what they remember, and that's what they share. So we did that, and then we did go over the boss pitch. A lot of great visionaries and great technicians and business leaders, they won't get in front of a camera because they get nervous about being in front of the camera. And I said, look, you just got to remember, it's not about you. And take it from me, I try to be as genuine, as authentic as possible, even on these videos. Nothing fancy, but it's really about what you get out of watching and listening and every day to these videos, and how I can help impact your day, the rest of your day. When things are tough, sometimes you just need that support. You need that validation to say, you got this, keep going. But not just be a cheerleader or anything like that. But I know firsthand, I know what it's like. And with every valley, there's always a peak. And after every peak, every victory, you're always going to run into another valley. And like they say, you don't learn by winning, you learn by losing. And what separates the successful from the people that aren't so successful, or even more sad to me, is people that settle in life, mediocrity, when they have so much more to offer, and it's just fear of some kind holding them back. And hopefully they don't let their egos let that drive them every day. But I'm constantly stepping out of my comfort zone. I don't naturally out there jumping around in front of people, but I'm so passionate about what I do, and I let that seep through. So it makes up for the lack of maybe technical or presentation skills or the polish and all of that. I really think it's not what you say, it's how you say it and how you make people feel. So it was a great day. This is day 3 of my videos on towards the launch, day 3 of the launch, towards the launch of the findacoolboss.com platform. I'm out there scraping for subscribers. I was so excited when I got my first subscriber for this channel. I'll be honest with you, everyone's talking about subscribers and this and that. I go, I got my first one, and it was my dad. And I told him, so you can say someday you'll be able to say you were the first one. So I definitely appreciate the support of subscribing to the channel, and even more importantly, giving me the opportunity to somehow inspire you to create your own massive achievements in your life that will help others. So I am only halfway through the day, had a great event, got firsthand knowledge with people, real people, not on a video screen, not on a computer screen. And I really feel good. They were amazing people, and they told me they were excited and are going to spread the word to other people, and I sure hope they do. If I did and expressed myself the way I wanted to, then it will happen. And I know it's going to be a tough climb, but I'm ready for it. I'll do it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen for you and everyone else whose job affects their families. It shouldn't be going to work to make a living. It should be going to work to make a life, as I heard before. And when you catch a quote like that, you keep it and you use it and you share it, and that's their way of giving without even knowing. But I'm always acquiring something to share. If it works, use it, right? Being a martial artist for so many years and teaching so many thousands of people, I'm not afraid to say, hey, look, you got something to share, and it passes my filter in terms of if it's going to work and it's right, I'll use it, and I'll ask for permission, but I'll use it. I'm not afraid to stay in that conformed, like, no, this is the way we do it. This is the way they did it 2,000 years ago. That's not 2,000 years ago, especially in the job market. It's not 2,000. This is a whole new ball game. And unless you got unlimited bank accounts to pay people exorbitant salaries for probably not even extraordinary work, then you know what? You're going to have to get your core values out there. Get your purpose out there. Get your mission out there. Share your vision so that your team knows what it is every day. And then you don't have to be there to get them to be their best. The vibe of the company is there, and they know what is expected, and they know what the standards are, and they're aligned with that. And if they're not aligned with that, then you're going into more of dealing with the different hiring practices that you might have. You hired the wrong people, or you just don't train them right. You don't have the systems in place. You don't have the onboarding in place. But you know what? If you got a bad employee, chances are you should have caught that at the beginning. So that being said, that's why we focus on alignment. We focus on the relationship, the mesh between the culture and the boss and the leadership of the company with people that are going to align with that. And then you can get the technical aspects. You can get the training. You can get the development in there. Support them. Give them the opportunity to bloom for you. And they will for you. And you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't have to be you doing all the work. You don't have to micromanage. You don't have to feel like you're putting out fires every day. You got people that want to share what your company does for others. And that's what it's all about. That's what I believe. So day 3, almost in the books for the video, But I'll see you soon with the next day and some more ideas. And let me know if you have any ideas for me. I sure would appreciate it. I would love to be able to call you and say that you're part of this mission of creating an army of coolest bosses ever. Who knows? You're either going to be one or you're going to work for one. And either way, that's an awesome thing.